Well, hello and welcome to Tea Time TU with Coach Darby Rogo here at Shell Sharkus Restaurant on a balmy spring day. But we're here each and every Tuesday recording our program, talking Tiffany University golf, talking college golf, talking PGA golf, talking local golf. I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons, alongside Tiffany University head golf coach. That's Darby Rogo. Coach Rogo, how are you today, sir?
You know what? Despite the snow, things are okay.
You have a Masters hangover after the Masters
I do,
weekend?
man. What a great weekend.
Yeah, we'll talk all about the Masters. We'll preview the RGB Classic, I believe it is called, coming up this weekend as well. We'll talk about your guys competing at the Purgatory Regional as well. But, last Tuesday the weather was fantastic. We wake up this morning to more snow. People, the God Golf's just kind of messing with us a little bit. Is that what's going on?
I don't even know what to say. I mean, this change in the weather pattern is ridiculous. I mean, it is beautiful out right now, and we're at Shell Shuckers, which is, what a wonderful view. It's a great place to eat lunch and look out the window and see this, awesome landscape. But I mean, I'm ready for sunshine to play golf continuously.
I was outside in shorts and T-shirts 2 days ago.
Saturday in our practice round, I was worried about getting sunburned.
Well, let's talk about the practice round and the round as the Dragons compete at the Purgatory Regional this past, yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us all about it.
Well, it was our final regional of the year, Great Lakes Regional, and obviously it was a very important one for us because it has postseason implications. We entered the regional 2 weeks ago at Elks Run. We were ranked 11th in the region. Statistically, you could have said we were 10th. We had a terrible finish there, and we had our postseason future in our own hands, and we let it slip through. And so we had a chance to redeem ourselves this past weekend in Indianapolis, and during the practice round, we looked good. We had a great game plan. We had a great mindset. Came out on Sunday morning and put together a solid round considering the weather conditions and the toughness of the golf course, shooting a 301, only 8 shots off the lead. And then Monday came, and we didn't play well.
Didn't play well on Monday. Well, you still finished better than you did the previous week, though.
That wasn't too hard to do.
Well, finished 11th out of 30 teams. The Wayne State was the overall champion of the event, shooting a 596. The Dragons come in at 614, just a couple strokes behind a couple of GLIAC competitors in Ashland and Findlay.
I mean, you look at it, and you look at it on the results, we're 1 or 2 shots from 5th place. We finished 11th, 1 shot behind Ashland, 1 shot behind UIndy, 2 shots behind, I don't know if it was Lewis or someone else in the region. We were so close, and it just how fickle this game is 1 shot can mean the biggest difference. I mean, if we shake 1 shot each day, 299 both days is 598. 598 puts us
2 shots off.
We finished runner-up instead of shooting 614 and finishing 11th. I mean, it's the game. I mean, we go out the first day and Tyler shoots 73 but comes back with a 79. Corey goes out, shoots 75, struggles, doesn't break 80. Brett Green, shoots 81 yesterday. I mean, just uncharacteristic of who we are. And what's funny is after the round, we had so many teams coming up to us. How'd you guys do? And it's because they want to see us sneak into that top 10 spots because they know we've earned that reputation as a very good program. And we're just not playing that way right now, and it's very frustrating.
Well, as you said, Tyler Moranville, he was your leading, had the lowest rounds for your kids. Tyler Moranville shooting at 152 overall, 73 and 79. But as you said, you knock a stroke off here, a stroke off there. That's the thing about golf. You can look back and you can see those strokes you could have knocked
there's
off.
No doubt. I mean, we talked about it after the first day, even though we were within only 8 shots off the lead. One of the things we had done very well was that everyone hit double-digit greens. Well, when you hit double-digit greens, you give yourself birdie opportunities. We had a couple conversions, not our goal of 33%, but what we also did is we were close to 50% up and down, and we played the par fives even par. Now, that's where we gave some shots away the whole weekend. Is we played the par fives the first day even par. We didn't take advantage of them. Second day, we played the par fives over par. Well, that's why you finish 11th.
Yeah.
If you don't score on the scoreable holes, you're not going to move up in the rankings.
Absolutely. Well, next up for you guys, Easter, GLIAC Spring Invitational. That'll be happening in New Albany, Ohio. What is after this weekend's results, the previous 2 weekends' results in the Midwest Regionals, where does that leave your kids as far as moving forward this season?
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, we went into Elks Run 11th. And like I said, statistically, we could have been argued to be 10th. Get on the Raiders call last week, and we're 13th. I was shocked we only fell 2 spots, but that's because we only were beaten by the teams that were ahead of us. So this past weekend, Drury was 10th, Drury University. Ohio Dominican was 11th. Davison Elkins was 12th. We were 13th. We come out of Purgatory. We beat Drury. We beat Ohio Dominican by double-digit strokes. We crushed them. Davis and Elkins did not participate, which is a negative. When you don't play, you cannot gain positive ground. And then we had beaten Saginaw, who was ranked 5 in the region. We had beaten some other teams that were ahead of us. So what implications that will have, I won't know until tomorrow, until Wednesday afternoon. I'll look at the rating. We could move up. We could fall back because we did lose to some teams, one team behind us, and that was the University of Findlay. So where we'll end up, I have no idea. What helps us is our strength of schedule. What helps us is the fact that we've beat everyone in the top 10 in the region except for Malone.
Okay.
And we've beaten nationally ranked teams when we were out in Vegas. So our strength of schedule is helping us. I just don't know how much longer we can hold on. And what could end up happening, and we'll know tomorrow afternoon, or on Wednesday, how important this final event, this GLIAC spring event is. Everyone in the GLIAC will be in attendance except for Wayne State. Wayne State just coming off the regional win. They won't play next week.
Because they have no reason to participate?
But no, it's because this is their non-championship segment they've chosen to make it. So they cannot compete in any events 1 week prior to their finals, and their finals are the week after.
Okay.
So it's an NCAA rule. They would compete if they could, but they don't need to anymore. They're they're a lock. They're going to go to super regionals. They played great. Mike Horn runs a great program. So we will have a chance head-to-head wise against every team in the GLIAC if we have a strong finish. The end of the ratings, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, it's very GLIAC heavy.
Okay.
And so
That
any
makes this
head-to-head
weekend
win you can
incredibly
pick up, and that's where we'll find out is if we move up a little bit, we could sneak up to 11. We could sneak up to 10. We could stay at 13. We might drop to 14. I don't know until it comes out on Wednesday. So this weekend, we're not out of it, but, man, the bubble is about to burst, and I hope we're on the right side of it when it does.
Is this a course you guys will be playing at this weekend that you're familiar with?
Never played it before.
Okay, so you don't know how it's going to play to your team's strengths?
I know that the golf course is an old school country club. It's very tree lined. It's very narrow. It doesn't hurt us. I know that it's not exceptionally long. I don't know what it's been like weather-wise down there. Is it soft? Is it hard?
Yeah.
I doubt that it's a firm golf course, which does play to our strengths. But no matter what the golf course we play, we've got to go out and we've got to do the things that we're capable of doing, and that is putting the ball in play, hitting greens in regulation, and not 3-putting. And that's what killed us this past Monday.
You can talk about any kind of course there is, but it all boils down to that right there.
Correct.
Well, it's you guys will be playing on what, Saturday and Sunday? Is that the way?
Correct. It's a Friday practice round, Saturday, Sunday in New Albany at Winding Hollow. Like I said, beautiful golf facility. It's our last event of the spring regular season. I hope it's not our last event of the year.
Well, as we said, it's coming up this weekend, Easter weekend, and hopefully we'll have a lot of good news to talk about next week on the program after the GLIAC Spring Invitational, as we said, happening April 19th and 20th in New Albany. Well, let's talk about some other happenings athletic-wise going on around Tiffin University campus. How about the men's tennis team this year? What Phil Conley's been doing. They've now won their 5th straight GLIAC match, 3rd straight overall, 5-4 victory on the road at Michigan Tech, 15-9 overall, 8-3 in conference play. Got that huge win over Northwood, which nobody does. They're doing some really cool stuff this year.
Well, just having a great spring season, and it's a testament to the recruiting that Phil did. I mean, he brought in some very talented players. He's doing a great job leading them. Confidence breeds success, and success breeds confidence. These guys started off the season very well. They had a good fall practice season. When you start playing well and you start feeling good about what you're doing, that carries over and your confidence level goes up, and you don't fear anybody. That's the exact opposite of what we're going through with the golf program. And now we actually are playing hesitant because there's this back of our minds that everything matters so much instead of just relaxing and playing. And that's what the tennis team is doing. They're relaxing and they're playing and they're doing what they can, and they're letting their true talent just happen.
Yeah, doing some great things with the tennis program, Coach Conley. Now, the newest athletic program at Tiffin University, swimming and diving, fantastic season for their first season under Coach Margarita Kalmakova.
Oh, she's tremendous. I mean,
not many Olympians coaching on here.
I mean, when we have an Olympian interview for the job, and Shane, who's our sports information director, who runs the camera for us, he was in on the interview process. He knows we really found someone very special.
Yeah.
I think that she's going to do great things. I mean, when you're in your first year and you're competitive and you're taking guys to nationals and they're having success, that's only going to attract better talent. And with her background, she's phenomenal.
Yeah, and men's soccer just finished their spring season at Alumni Weekend here recently as well, and Coach Rudy Brownell does a great job with those guys too.
Well, both men's and women's soccer had their Alumni Weekends, and from my understanding, everything went very well, and both we're excited to see what Melissa Big will do with the women's soccer program in her first year. And Rudy's always run one of the best programs in the country.
And Jeff Nickerson's softball team just finished off a sweep of Lake Erie College doubleheader here recently over the weekend, and they're off to a 17-12 mark, 6-6 in conference play, teetering right around that entry into the GLIAC Conference tournament.
Well, right now the softball team has had success this year, but they're kind of up and down. And I know talking to the coaches, they just want to see some more consistency. And you're going to have that when you have a young team. Trust me, I understand that better than anyone. But I think if they can put together a couple good weeks here, get into the playoffs, anything can happen.
And Tiffin University football team had their spring contest here over the weekend on Saturday. Great weather, great turnout for Coach Goff's kids. A couple new coaches on staff, some kids who come in early enrollees, transfers from junior colleges on campus. So cool to see football back on the field too.
Well, I know I'm a big football fan, just like yourself. And I like that the Dragons are poised to do some really good things this fall. I'm excited for Coach Goff and all the work that his staff has put in. I do think he's lost some key people in terms of not just players but coaches, but I know he'll replace them with guys who can get the job done. And my understanding, I wasn't here, but I think everything went really well on Saturday.
All right, let's talk Masters. We've covered some of the things happening this past week here on campus. Let's talk Masters now. Let's rewind a little bit to last week, and we were talking about our predictions of who was going to finish where.
Correct.
And I remember you and I believe Blake both really liked Sergio this week.
Yes,
I didn't
did.
get a chance to see how he finished. How did he finish up?
He did not make the cut.
He didn't make the cut?
No, he did not.
No.
He had a opened up with a good round, and then just typical Sergio fashion, disappeared. Let me down again. I thought he was I thought he was poised. With the field the way it was, we almost saw another first-time winner in Jordan Spieth.
Scott predicted him. That was his prediction.
Well, that's why he's the owner of these restaurants.
As soon as I walked in the door, the first thing he said to me, hey, my prediction almost came through. But, Jordan Spieth. We have a question about Jordan from one of our listeners and viewers here in a little bit. But Jordan, boy, to be that age and compete at that level and, be right there in the thick of it is just pretty amazing.
Well, he's exceptional. He's a special athlete. He's an exceptional person. I've never had the chance to meet him, but I looked back. I actually think I got to see him play when he was a junior golfer.
Okay.
I was in the Dallas area recruiting when he would have been about 8th or 9th grade. And I was at a tournament they had 36 holes at Dallas Athletic Club, which is, hosted some great PGA events. And I'm pretty sure he was a freshman in the field. I may have seen him play. Obviously at that point he'd already verbally committed to Texas, and we know what he did there. But the poise and the maturity that he showed throughout the weekend. He's a special player. You think about it. A year ago at this time, he was ranked, I think, 890th in the world.
He's top 10. Right?
Yes, he had no status whatsoever, and then played on a President's Cup, and then is now top 10 in the world and finished T2 at the Masters at 20 years old.
Yeah.
Things are going pretty well for that young man.
Well, his father said he quoted his father something along the lines of, "I'm the proudest father of a college dropout in the country right now."
That's right.
What about Bubba Watson, though?
Well, you either love Bubba Watson or you hate him. And at the
I dig him. I
golf
think he's cool.
tournament, there's a lot of coaches that swing one way or the other. They're either big fans of him or they don't like him at all. And you can't argue with a guy who's won 2 Masters in the last 3 years. He has all the shots. What I would like to see is I'd like to see Bubba win events other than he's only won 2 big events, and obviously they've both been green jackets, but I'd like to see him win consistently on tour. I think that's what they need. I think more than anything what we saw this weekend is what golf could be like without Tiger Woods. I hate to say this, but I don't think that his shelf life is very much longer. He could be 3 to 5 more years. He's 37, 38 years old now, I believe. I don't see him playing deep into his 40s, with the injuries that he's had. You have a back injury, and a knee injury, and I think what you're seeing is it's working its way up. He had the bad left knee. Because of his violent swing and because the way he attacks the golf ball, that was the first to go. Now that he's starting to protect that knee, what's happened? The pain now has moved up to his back. It's only a matter of time before that whole left side of his it breaks down. And whether you want to accept it or not, golf is going to change when he stops playing.
Oh, absolutely.
And we saw that this weekend. The Masters was exciting, but the Masters is always exciting. What's going to happen to the PGA Tour across the board, though, when he's not playing? Even for Augusta, TV viewership was down to 30% on Thursday with Tiger not in the field. Yeah. Price of tickets dropped 1/3 of the selling price. They were going for $3,000 a piece before he announced that he wasn't going to play. That price dropped down to $2,000 a ticket. As we've said before, he isn't the needle that he doesn't move the needle. He is the needle. As exciting as the golf was this weekend, without Tiger Woods, it was different.
Yeah, just a little something was missing for sure. But all right, how about Jonas Blixt? The young man comes in. I was not familiar with Jonas at all, and he finishes tied for second as well, shooting a 5 under and 1 under on the final day with those tough pin places.
Well, I think the key is he's a young player, like we've talked about all year about a lot of the young talent that is up and coming. Foreign guy that we don't see a lot on the American soil, but when he does play, what the key is and why he was successful this week, he putts the ball very well. He is very, very good with the flat stick, and you need to do that at Augusta. You watched, even Adam Scott had said on Friday after he was one off the lead, the greens were starting to get really firm and crusty, and things were going to be really exciting for this weekend. And we saw that. I mean, we saw guys missing putts they normally would make, or approach shots that they were throwing 30, 40 feet right of the flag, and they were drawing back in or funneling back into the hole. I mean, some great shots and some great play. You talk about Bubba with the huge win, the T2 for Blixt and Spieth. How about Miguel Angel Jimenez?
That's where I was going.
The mechanic
next.
finishing fourth.
You look at this leaderboard, and it's just filled with young guys. For the most part.
Right.
Bernard Longer's in there.
Ricky Fowler.
He's got some years on, but Miguel Jimenez sneaking in there. Is there a bigger character on tour?
Most interesting man in golf.
Yeah, for sure. But it was great to see him in there. He would be one of the guys on tour that would be a blast to be able to play around with, because I'm sure he's kind of guy where if you're getting real frustrated with yourself or something, he could jab you a little bit and make you feel like everything's going to be all right.
He's an interesting character, and I mean, obviously, a steady player. I mean, you talk about steady players. I mean, look at the finish. Matt Kuchar is in the top 5.
I thought he was going to run at the start of Sunday. I thought he was going.
Yeah. He might be one of the most consistent golfers to ever play the game. I mean, you look at his career record; he is continually in the top 10, and he's a guy that's making a living just being competitive. He might not win as much as everyone would like him to, or as much as he would like to himself, but he's always giving himself chances. He's always in the mix, and that consistency is very rare on the PGA Tour.
And he's a big crowd favorite. The crowd really likes Cooch, as you hear him holler all the time. And you know what? You look at the top of the leaderboard. Americans all over the place too. So even though Tiger wasn't there, and still a great day for American golf, though. I think.
Well, it's a great day for golf in general. Sure. And there's a lot of great players on tour, and I think that what we're going to see is the changes without Tiger in playing is that we're going to have opportunities for other people to win, and I don't think we're ever going to see someone be as dominant as Tiger Woods. Woods was. I mean, even Lee Westwood was a top 10 finish, but no one talked about him at all weekend.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, the Masters came and gone, and next major that will be coming up will be the U.S. Open, a bit of a Father's Day weekend as it traditionally is. And up next, a Heritage coming to you from Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. Graham McDowell is your defending champion, and it's interesting to see how many players play a weekend after the majors, especially the guys who finish up near the top of the leaderboard, because sometimes, all your concentration, so much goes into those majors. And you do well. Sometimes, taking that week off.
Well, and it may, you may need that time to readjust yourself. But there's a lot of guys that missed the cut that need to play this next weekend. The guys who missed the cut this year at the Masters were a veritable who's who of golfers. I mean, they were great players.
So did the guy you picked to win not make it?
He did not make it.
That's right. Okay.
They're great players. Thank you for reminding me of that.
You're
again.
welcome.
As I told you when I walked in, I'm not paid to pick winners.
Well, as we said, the Heritage is coming up this weekend, so why don't we bring Blake up here and ask some trivia questions.
Let's get some trivia.
He's our leader in the clubhouse right now.
I know.
6 total.
I'm not going to make the cut at the current
Blake,
pace.
come on over, sir.
All right, welcome, Coach DeBrain. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Well, I'm not as good as you. I mean, Tea Time TU trivia. You're 6-2. I'm 4-4. Scott's 4-4. So you're kind of running away with this right now.
I think I got very lucky last week. And see if the luck continues.
Well, I can tell you right now that I wasn't studied for this one, so you might pull away. We'll start with the first question. In 2013, well, Russ, I guess you're going to read the questions, correct?
I'll read them for you, and I have Scott's answers here. Scott has already answered the questions here. I won't tell you how he's done yet. I'll just give you his answers as you answer yours. Okay, 2013, the RBC Heritage tied a PGA Tour record of players making the 36-hole cut when Jesper Parnevik bogeyed the 18th hole, allowing an additional 21 golfers into the third round. How many golfers made the cut? Was it 89, 91, or 93?
I'll let you answer first.
All of them are huge numbers to begin with.
I'm going to go with C, 93.
Okay.
I'm going to say A, 89.
Well, I can tell you both that you're wrong. And I can tell you that Scott got it right with the 91. 91 golfers. Boy, that's a huge number to see making the third round.
That's a number that I usually shoot on the weekends.
All right, so 0 for 1 for the two of you, 1 for 1 for Scott. Okay, next question. Who has the most career wins at the RBC Heritage with a total of 5? Is it Davis Love III, Hale Irwin, or Tom Watson?
I am not sure on this one. I am going to go with A, Davis Love III.
I will also say DL3, A.
All right, and an interesting note that these are the top 3 career winners at the Heritage in order, and they're actually in the order that they should have been, and your correct answer is A, Davis Love III. Scott missed that one. That's
All right.
Tom Watson. Okay.
So I'm tied with Scott. I got a chance.
Everybody's 1-1 so far here. And our final question of the day. Who was the last American to win the RBC Heritage? And it happened in 2011. Was it Brian Gay? Was it Jim Furyk? Or was it Brandt Snedeker?
I'm going to go with C, Brandt Snedeker. I know he won it a few years back, I'm thinking, so C it is.
Well, you know, Furyk and Snedeker are pretty popular household names, and you threw in the Brian Gay, and I remember he had a win not too long ago, so I'm going to go with A, Brian Gay.
Well, these are the last 3 Americans to win this tournament. And going from the furthest to the most recent, making Brandt Snedeker our correct answer. And Scott also got that one right. So, Darby, you officially will be in last place after
That's
today.
That's great. Like Sergio, I missed the cut.
Well, I know, Coach DeBrain, you guys, your girls' team's got something coming up here pretty soon, too, as well. Is that right?
Yes, we got this weekend off for Easter, and we got GLIACs next week down at Winding Hollow. We're looking forward to that. The girls are preparing. It was all going well until today, so we'll have to take a little step back and start preparing ourselves for the next few days. Hopefully it warms back up and we can get out there.
I agree. You know, the women will play at Winding Hollow the week after we do, so it would be nice to be able to come home and spend some time with Blake and give him some updates. I know that, you know, they'll be able to go down and see the course on their own, but we'll be able to strategize, because one thing I really want to see is the women do very well at GLIACs this year. I think they have a chance to be, you know, in the top 6, but they're going to have to put together 3 really good rounds.
But Coach DeBrain, will that be a huge advantage for your kids, being able to have Darby and his players come back and tell you about some of the ins and outs of the course?
Definitely. I think always having the experience of being out at the golf course before, having a look at it, and having somebody who's there, who's played it that week before, coming back with the knowledge and knowing how the course is being played is only going to help us out. I definitely want to get down to the golf course next week so we can walk it through, just to give us that little bit more of an advantage. I know having any help you can get with knowing the course before you play it or before you're out there competing is going to help. So I'm looking forward to finding out the strategies and how we can approach that golf course next week.
That sounds excellent. Okay, you guys want to answer some questions from some of our viewers?
Yes, let's do
All right,
that.
This is a 2-parter from our first viewer, Mark in Old Fort. And he's questions referring to last weekend's Masters. First of all, how do you see Jordan Spieth's career playing out?
Well, I think that he's going to have a very solid career. He's already shown some of the mettle that you need to win on the PGA Tour. You know, he has. He even admitted that he gets a little nervous and he has composure issues. But he's 20 years old. I mean, to go up and hit some of the shots that he hit under the pressure that he had to hit them at Augusta, and you know, he has a game that's built for success.
Okay. And along those lines as well, they want to know about Bubba Watson.
I think Bubba's already proved that he's going to have a tremendous career. 2 major wins in 3 years. That's something to be proud of. So I think he's going to continue to grow, and I think he's only getting better as the years go by. He's only going to keep competing. He's a very good player. Fans love him, so I think he builds off that a lot, and I only think he's going to get better as the years go by.
Can you imagine pulling out a 370-yard drive on a Sunday at the Masters?
There's a lot of things I can imagine, and that's not one of them.
All right, and this question, since you guys both have a familiarity, you coach men's golf, you coach women's golf, you guys can both answer these from a male and a female perspective. This comes from Jane in Sycamore. How do I pick the right ball to play? I'm sure she sees people on TV talking about, you know, Pro V1s and stuff, and she doesn't want to spend, you know, that kind of money on golf. But how do you choose the right ball to play when you're just a average Joe going out to the municipal course?
As a recreational golfer, you know, I will argue till I'm blue in the face that most amateurs, whether you put a Pro V1 in their bag or you put a aftermarket low-end ball in their bag, it doesn't matter. You know, because they're not generating enough club head speed. They're not creating enough spin to really have a major impact. I think for the ladies, what they need to be able to do, and I don't need to step on his toes, they need a softer compression ball. For the guys, a ball that it has a little more spin around the green. People, I want a ball that adds more distance. I want a ball at the level that most amateurs compete at. The ball is going to make maybe a 2 to 3 yard difference. They want a ball maybe that spins a little bit less. That way, their off-center shots aren't as off-center. I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't think if you're not playing more than 3 or 4 times a week, you really don't need to be spending $45 to $50 a dozen on Pro V1s. But I'd get a ball that feels good, a ball that you can control. There's a lot of middle of the range balls that I think would help a lot of players.
I agree with that. I feel one of the biggest things, you got to have a ball that feels good. You got to have a ball that you like the feel of to be able to play. And it doesn't. As general recreational golfers, the ball's not going to make too much of a difference with how you control it, how you hit it, that type of thing. So a ball that feels good to you and that you like the feel of it, I think that's going to help you out a little bit more than normal.
All right, that's our questions for this week. If you would like to submit questions to us, you can look us up on social media. You can find me on Twitter at Tiffin_Russell. You can find me on Facebook as well. Coach Rogo, how can folks find you guys?
Well, we've got our 2 Twitter handles, at DRogues and then at TU Golf, and then our Tiffin University Golf Facebook page are all of our social media.
All right, guys, I think that's going to conclude the program for today. Remind the folks what you guys got coming up here. Next event for the men, next event for the women, then we'll close up shop.
Well, I know that we head down to Columbus this weekend, New Albany, and play at Winding Hollow, and then you follow us the following weekend with GLIACs.
Yep, follow the next week at same course and down in Columbus, Winding Hollow. We start on the 25th, so we're looking forward to that one.
All right, well, thanks, Russ. Thanks, Shane. Thanks to Scott and everybody here. Thanks to Blake. Coming from Shell Shuckers every Tuesday. Don't forget to watch TU Tee Up.